Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of T-Dog RC, and here we are in the workshop with the Zeta Science Buffalo FX79, and as you can see it's an absolute beast, but I'm really pleased with it, really pleased with the way it's gone together, really pleased with the config that I've done on it, and considering that I never actually ordered this, I'm actually really chuffed with it now. I've got it and I've set it up and I'm really looking forward to flying it. So this is the build video, so let's go back to the future. Let's go and see T-Dog from the past and check out how he gets on building this, and then we'll come back here and I'll give you a quick view around it and show you what else I've done to it. So let's roll the tape and get stuck in. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the build video. As I say, it went together pretty easy. Had a little bit of an issue with the carbon spar that runs through here and the canopy clips too, because I initially glued it in place and it's a bit tricky to get it glued in place and pushed to the tops. So initially when I did it, the canopy didn't quite snap on enough, so I had to unglue it and then try and push it up a bit more. So that was a little bit fiddly. But apart from that, the rest of it went together absolutely fine. The only other thing to be aware of, obviously, is it's such a huge model. You know, it's 2 meter wingspan. You do need a big space because you end up bashing the wings on things as you're trying to turn it around and stuff like that. So the good thing is though, most of the work is done on this center section here, so you can take the wings off and work on this without having these bits on the wings basically. So if I just go through the build, basically what I've done, first of all, at the back here I have got a 3548 1100 kV motor that is swinging a 12.6 prop. I'm going to run it on 3S, but it will take 4S as well. I'll get close in on this in a second, but just briefly in here, you can see here I've got a Crossfire receiver in here. So going to be using Crossfire obviously, and the module in the back of the radio. I've stuck it up here. I know a lot of people say, you know, you should have it at the end of the wings, but I've gone with a DJI digital FPV setup. So I don't know how much that will interfere, but I'm not really going to be flying this super long range or anything like that, so I'm not too worried. You know, I'm sure I'll get enough signal with the antenna being mounted there. I'm probably not going to, I mean, in the UK you can't use any more than 25 milliwatts anyway, and of course no one would ever power their transmitter above that, but if I was to do that, I'd probably go up to 100 max really, because I can't imagine I'd fly it much further out than that, just because of the way we are in the UK. Then you have to keep the model in view at all times. But yeah, it's going to be good to fly the Crossfire on this. Okay, so just trying to get a little bit closer in for you so you can see. So I've got a Turnigy 40 amp plush speed controller. That will take up to 6S, but as I say, I'm going to maximum I'll be flying this is on 4S. I've then got a Matek F405 wing, so this is the second one I've set up, and I'm really pleased with the way that this one went together, having experienced doing the first one. With the first one, for example, with the GPS, I soldered it directly to the board, but what I've done with this one is I've actually bought some DuPont connectors and made my own DuPont cable up for this. That's a 4-pin, so it's like a bigger servo lead basically, and then I've soldered the pins on here, and that's gone, you know, I'm really pleased with that. That's made a really good connection to the GPS unit, and there's no sort of soldering the wires to the board, and that just sits on there nice and tight. The GPS is located under here, and then obviously got servo connections. I have added flaps to this as well, so ailerons or elevons are out there, and then these are flaps, so I'm going to be getting those set up on it. And then again, I've used some more of these DuPont connectors to wire up my DJI Vista. So I've just got 4 single connectors here for 12 volts and ground, and then the transmit and receive. And I've tested all this. I've got it all bound up to my goggles, and I've tested it. And I've got the on-screen display working and all that sort of stuff. So that's nice. Mounted the Vista unit here in the front, and I've just got one of these. It's basically a Cadax Nebula camera, just branded as eSheen, but it's these aren't the best cameras, but it's going to be fine for what I need it for. So as you can see there, I've got that mounted right up at the front in the nose, and then you've got this piece that goes over the top here. I have added an extra hole there just to hopefully add a bit of extra cooling for the Cadax Vista unit. That's the only bit I'm a little bit concerned about, is whether that's going to get a bit too hot in here. But if it does, I'll have to put some more holes in it or something, or possibly even mount it on the top here. But I don't really want to do that just yet, so we'll see how it goes. And the other thing I need to do is I've put a small hole in this for the antenna of the VTX to go through. So just to get it hooked up and the firmware flashed on it, you have to have the antenna mounted in case you burn the VTX out. So I wanted to do all that before I put this nose section on, which is why I've got it mounted. But I'll have to take that off, feed it through here. It's going to be a bit tricky for sure to try and screw this back in whilst having it fed through, but I'll have to struggle away with that. But the intention is that this will sort of sit just proud of the nose cone out of this hole there when that's in place. So that's all good. I've got to put the battery tray in it. Let me move that nose so you can see a bit better. Still got to put the battery tray in, so that's just one last thing I've got to glue in place. I'm going to put that right up at the front here, and then I need to get some. I think I've got a couple of 5,000 milliamp 3S packs. I might end up putting 2 of those in, using a parallel connection to give me 10,000 milliamps, so I'll be able to fly it for a very long time, hopefully. That's the intention. So yeah, really pleased with the wiring on the Matek. I mean, I know I could probably neaten this up a bit and, I don't know, bundle it together or get like a shroud to go over this, but I'm quite pleased with these connectors that I've bought, and it just feels a lot neater than the first one I did that I put in these OHD Dart XL. So yeah, that's all good. That's all set up as well, as much as I can do on the bench. I've got this set up at the moment, incidentally, with my new little jumper T-Lite transmitter, using the Crossfire Nano module on the back. I might actually switch this out. I've ordered a Crossfire Micro to go in my Radio Master, because with this being a pretty big model and it's got flaps and I've got various bits and bobs going on with iNav, I haven't quite got enough controls on the transmitter for all the functions that I need. So I think I'm probably going to switch this particular model over to my Radio Master, and I'll probably just use this on smaller models that have got less functions, basically. But yeah, that's all working. So we've got ailerons there and elevons. I haven't got the flaps hooked up yet because, as I said, I haven't got enough channels to do those. So at the moment they're just neutral. But when I switch this over to the Radio Master, I'll get the flaps working. And the other thing that I'm particularly pleased with is, if I can get the camera to swing down here, you can hopefully see there that I have got some navigation lights on this. So yeah, that means I can fly it in some lower light conditions, which is going to be quite good fun, because it enables me to fly it sort of later in the evening, but then still be able to see it enough to get it landed. So yeah, pretty chuffed with that. And overall, very pleased with the way everything's gone together. The iNav installation, that's all working. Obviously got it all soldered up, no issues with blue smoke, clearly, because you can see that the Matek's working and that's all set up. So all that's left for me to do really is get out there and fly it as soon as lockdown is lifted. And I think this is probably going to be one of the first ones that I fly, because I really am quite fond of this now that I've received it and built it. It's I quite like the fact it's so big. It's going to be so easy to fly, hopefully, and obviously see is going to be no problem at all. So stay posted for the flight video of this, the maiden of this. And as always, thanks a lot for watching. If this is the first time you've discovered my channel and you like anything RC fixed wing, whether that's foam, balsa, nitro, FPV, electric, EDF, whatever it is that you're into, subscribe to my channel to see more stuff like that. If you do subscribe, I'll give you a shout out as well in the comments if you let me know that you've subscribed. Click on the bell icon as well so you get notified, and the other thing that really helps me out is if you can give me a thumbs up if you like this video. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon for the next one.